Though Star Wars Destiny is just shy of 3 years old, early sets have adapted a vintage flair.
We take a look at the early days of Destiny, remember those cards we couldn't live without, and discuss ways to dive into the past.
This is episode 140, Destiny Nostalgia.
You have been well trained.
No.
You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Or do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of the Chance Cube. You have myself and Kim here, hanging out, talking a little Star Wars Destiny, as we tend to do on Tuesday evenings, because that is what we love to do.
It is.
And it is.
I legit had a crummy day, but I was looking forward to this. So.
Oh, sometimes I have a crummy day, and I said, "Do I really have to?" And then I turn the stream on, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is a happy place."
It's a good way to shake off some steam. Maybe that's why I'm always so on my soapbox against MSG.
Because you have a crummy day.
It's because I had a crummy day and I'd check it out on somebody.
No, that's fair.
I'm
actually pretty excited because, I mean, we talk a lot about what's going on in Destiny and have some great guests on the show who do a lot of playing and since my daughter's been born, I have not had a chance to do a lot of playing, but I'm lucky that my work schedule allowed me to get out this last week and see what the locals were doing, which is really interesting because we sit here and we talk about Destiny a lot every day, particularly on Tuesday nights, and we know what's going on in the world when it comes to like high competitive Destiny. So I'm like putting a deck together. Granted, I don't have the play set of cards from the most recent set that I'd like. But putting together a deck that I've been wanting to play anyways and thinking, well, here's the decks that are out there, so this deck may be okay. And then I go to my local and like I don't see, like, it's a local meta, right? It's
right.
a locals game, and there's only one. Yep. There was one Raylo, Kai Ray.
Geez.
There was only one Raylo there who won the tournament, and then there was like someone was playing an IG-88 Bounty Hunter deck.
Okay.
Someone had a Phasma. The new Phasma with an Infest Nest Marauder.
Ooh.
And I played...
Yeah.
What else did I play against? Someone had a 3-wide, something or another. I don't know. I was like, wow, I'm not mentally prepared for any of these decks. So, it's fine. I mean, I didn't do well, but it was fun to get out and see that the local scene is still there, still thriving.
Good.
Some of the same folks.
That's awesome.
That was good. It was just fun. Like,
That's
I
great.
think we all need to make an effort to do that more often.
Mm-hmm. It's hard, yeah.
Sometimes we forget that there is this local scene of people who play the game that don't always play like they're always not the net deckers, right? They're not the
That's where you see the really spicy stuff. You know what
right.
I mean? Like people just having fun trying something out.
Right.
Our local group is really good for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Although, like you, I have not been able to go. I rely on Mr. Mike Ohio Hill to keep me up to date on what everybody locally is doing. I got roped into playing in a local festival that I did try to figure out if we could throw a Destiny tournament into, but it doesn't quite fit the jive of the rest of the festival, and it has consumed my life. So it has made it complicated to get to, because I've got meetings on the nights that we have our open play and stuff like that. So
sure.
So I realized that I'm not prepared to bring a deck with me to Nova. And so I'm going to have to probably get that situation figured out. I'm not playing in the championships there or anything. I'm just there to record all of you playing in the championship.
Right. That's what we're here for.
Because I did see this week, I'm sure it was this week, that they said tickets were sold out.
Oh, good. Now I don't feel bad about not buying one. I guess make sure.
Well, and when we've gone in the past, when we've gone to stream, it's hard to take place in an event and then needing, wanting to be able to dedicate time to the stream. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot to juggle. So I had not intended on playing at all.
Sure,
which is what we did at Worlds.
Same for me.
Too.
I think I played. I didn't play last year. I played the year before, and it is hard to split your attention, especially if you want to try to do good. It's hard to stream and play at the same time.
Yeah, because your focus is split, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're thinking about, I wonder if the stream's going okay. Right. And who's over there on that computer? Does Ruben really know what he's doing? No. The answer to that is no. And so, I'm with you. And so, but I realized we did a lot of just hanging out at the booth playing. And I went, I don't have I don't have an up-to-date deck, so I may need to stop by the store this weekend,
Well,
pick up a few cards, and
I'll be
see if I
bringing
can't put something together.
I'll be bringing my one set old Bounty Hunter deck.
Kind of want to try. Come back. I kind of want to try. I know they won't work, but I wouldn't mind trying to throw a Gungan deck together again. But I think that ship has sailed. I don't know if there's anything new that would really spice that up very much.
You could look
and
at
Ewoks
those.
is the new.
Well, you could look at cards that say, like, if you have multiple of the same subtype of character,
That's true.
and to see if that adds anything to it. I don't know. I mean, again,
Well, I promised Parker Simpson. He sent me some really cool Gungan guys. That I would give it a try again, and I haven't necessarily got anything to take off. And so I thought, well, what a better time to put something together and give it a try. But like I said, it might be a little too old. I'm not sure if anybody's got any good up-to-date Gungan lists that they want to share. You can message me on the Facebook page or email them over. I'd be curious. I'm not looking to be competitive. That's just not my style. But
right. No, that's all good.
so yeah, Nova's right around the corner.
It is. We're today's Tuesday, so it's 2 weeks from Thursday that I'll be there, and I think you're coming on Friday. Friday's when the Destiny events start, but Saturday is the Nationals with the top cut on Sunday, and they're cramming a draft and an Infinite and a Trilogies tournament all in the same weekend.
That's craziness.
It's wild. I don't think they've scheduled events that compact and running that late at night as they have this year.
Yeah.
I think primarily is because the Destiny community comes to Nova specifically for the Nationals, so they have found poor attendance at the events that are either really early or really late.
That makes sense.
So now if they've crammed them all together, Destiny players can come in on Friday and get more for their money.
Yeah.
Because most Destiny players don't get anything else out of Nova, unfortunately, because...
Yeah. There's some board game stuff, they're ramping that up a little bit. I saw they were going to have a Terraforming Mars competition and a couple other things. And if anybody plays D&D, I saw they were going to have a lot of D&D sessions running. I'm a little sad that I won't. That's not a thing you can go do quickly and come back. So I might sneak down there and poke my head in, though, but I won't. We don't have the kind of time to dedicate to. Yeah. If I'd come earlier, and that was happening on one of the early days, maybe, but work wouldn't let me. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you're in luck. Your Mike Hill has agreed to try.
Oh, how fun!
So
thanks, buddy.
You'll have a spicy.
It will be spicy.
Gungan deck.
It would be spicy. That is for sure.
That's awesome. So let's go ahead and there's a little bit of news for us to talk about this week. So let's go ahead and jump in.
Just a smidgen.
Let him take that bag, huh? You'll find what you need.
So as everybody knows, the Destiny community at large is really looking forward to the Nova Open. The Nova Open is the location of the Nationals Championship for Star Wars Destiny, and it is the next big thing. So a lot of the larger groups, larger competitive groups that are out there are really playtesting. I mean, I think even the Hyperloops just released a How Do You Beat Ewoks deck.
Oh, yeah.
Like a how do you beat Ewok strategy. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to see Ewoks because most people are
just... So, yeah, they do that now because they're not going to play.
Right. Well, most people are... I think Ewoks was the deck that fit into the meta because all of its... The good answers to an Ewok deck were not meta decks. So now that everybody knows that's the thing to at least consider and play around, we're not going to... I don't think we'll see it at the top tables as effective.
Yeah. I think it'll still be there, but to your point, no, I don't think it'll be... The people will still bring it. Right. But like we kind of mentioned in the last show with Mike Hill on it, it's not necessarily one that's... It's not a quick, I'm going to pick this deck up and I haven't really played a lot with it and now I'm going to succeed. That one takes some time to learn.
Right. So anybody who's followed the Nationals for the last couple of years know that the Nationals is where we enjoy our time. We go all out when it comes to the Nova Open. We love the folks there. It is a great organization. The Nova Open, all their proceeds go to their own charitable organization, which in turn supports a lot of different major charities that are out there. But the Nova Open Charitable Foundation is supported by the efforts of the Nova Open and all the revenue that they get. And, for better or worse, sometimes that can... that is why some of the pricing is the way that it is, because they are trying to ensure they can get that donation that's effective for that charitable organization. But so what we've done every year is we set up a table and we live stream the top table for nationals. This year's going to be a little different for us, and we're really excited about this. So we are. As we always have streaming, we've got live commentary set up. And instead of listening to me ramble on about things that I may or may not know as well, this year we've got some great commentators from the local Nova area. We've confirmed some, and we're still, if anybody is interested in joining the commentary table, you're welcome to shoot us a message to our Facebook page. I think we've got at least one person for each of the events for Trilogy, Infinite, and the Nationals themselves. Billy Fellon is going to be coming back.
Yay!
He will be streaming the Nationals with us.
He's going to be down at the FFG booth as well, so you'll be able to see Billy all over that darn convention.
That's right. Billy's such a great guy, and he did some great work streaming last year with us.
Yeah.
I believe Ruben's going to jump in on the commentary. I know Rick.
No, we're not letting him do that.
Oh, maybe not. We'll see.
We're not. You tell Ruben.
Rick from the Knights of Ren will be joining one of the events, I believe. And there's
he's also a good egg.
Yeah, and a couple other folks from the Richmond and Nova area, so we're really excited to have them on board for that. So. Be looking forward to some great commentary from those guys. We have an upgrade to our stream, which I'm excited to show Kim later after this show. So we'll keep that a surprise until the stream happens. But we do know that following along with the game, especially with the various types of tokens that are out there, can be challenging. So hopefully, I think we've got a solution for that. And it's always been our mission to never ask the players to do anything different with their gameplay.
And because some people you're in a groove, you're used to doing it that way, and having one thing different can totally throw you off a little bit, and I respect that.
Yep. Because
it would mess with me. I always put my resources here. If I put them somewhere else, I forget that I have them, or they get something. Like I've set things that way every time I play.
And I always appreciate players do come and ask us hey, where can I put stuff, so it's in the stream, and I'm like, dude, we will capture the shot,
Yeah.
We will make sure that we get what we need, and you just play the game.
They shouldn't have to think about something else going on when they really should be focusing on what their next play is or what their next,
So we'll be doing that, but
cool.
So 2 years ago, we showed up and we had a table, and you could come talk to us. Last year, we did have some singles out for sale, and that was a lot of fun. And we had some of our tokens. This year, we've upped the ante a little bit. There are some great manufacturers out there of accessories that mostly you just have to order online for them and hope that what you get is what you get, and that's what you want. But we've been reaching out to various vendors and offering to sell their products for them while we're there. So we are very glad that Faust Manufacturing, who does the wonderful dice vaults that are really affordable, but it can store an entire playset's worth per set in these boxes. We'll have a generous supply of those for sale. Vindicator Designs, who does some great metalwork tokens. I believe all they have is a Facebook page for where you can order their stuff.
I actually did confirm. So there was something else that was just posted that I saw right before the show, and it was just a Facebook page.
Yeah. And then Arbitz, who also does tokens not only for Destiny but for various other groups, games as well. So we'll have some of their Destiny products for sale. We will also have some of their Keyforge products on display. Because Keyforge is also happening in the same room as Destiny before Destiny. So we'll have those for anybody Keyforge players who want to see those. And we'll be offering a great promo code that weekend for ordering off their websites. And I've partnered with our local FLGS here, and we will be bringing up sealed products as well as a whole slew of singles and
Nice.
hopefully some other gaming accessories, because I think one thing that Nova misses out on sometimes is the support for card gamers. So
Yeah.
we're going to try to have some card sleeves on hand in case you forgot yours or you need a new set. And then we have, not only we'll have our tokens, but we'll have tokens from Arbit's Vindicator Designs, a whole slew of stuff for you guys to look at. So
That's pretty exciting.
So it could be fun. Hopefully it works out. We really wanted to give these groups an opportunity to get their products out in the world, because if you're a small manufacturer of a niche brand like Destiny, like you don't get a chance. You wouldn't ever get a chance to go to these places. You're not going to sell your stuff to a larger store to try to do it. So we just wanted to offer this opportunity to them.
That's cool.
So
well, and you're right. Sometimes you don't know. A picture can be made to look really good, but it's nice to be able to pick something up and see what the weight of it is in your hand and what's is it good quality. Now some of the stuff maybe a friend of yours has it, but this will be a great opportunity to take a look at it. And if Keyforge is happening in the same room, I guess I should bring one decks. We'll show you how to play. I guess I have a couple.
I think Keyforge is the day before. I don't think they're simultaneous, although one of the side events may be simultaneous with Keyforge. I don't know. I know Keyforge and Imperial Assault.
So many side events you can do.
Right.
With Keyforge.
Right.
Since you're not deck building, but.
Good
old Imperial Assault. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, they always show up in there. It's like, the 12 of them that show up to play that game? Actually, no, they had like 24 last year.
It wasn't bad.
26.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we've been toying around with this idea, and so if you are going to Nova and you're interested, please shoot us a message through our Facebook page. I think we have the opportunity to offer a vintage draft event.
Fun.
So the idea is that everybody would pitch in like probably $15, and for 6 people, and we would crack open an entire box of Awakenings and do a draft 6 packs of Awakenings plus Rivals. You bring your Rivals kit. We provide 6 packs of Awakenings, $15, and we can offer probably the entire set of both Season 1 and Season 2 promos as a prize for that. So some incentive to enjoy that, but I think we'd like to fire that off. If anybody is interested in a vintage draft at Nova, please shoot us a note, and we would love to get that fired off.
That'd be fun. Yeah, let us know.
Hey,
we forgot one more piece of news.
What's that?
It's not that exciting.
Well,
but the new seasonal, right? Seasonal kits.
Yeah, I even pulled the image to put on the stream, but I totally forgot. There it is.
I was like, I thought I saw it earlier. Yeah, it was interesting because they released it, FFG Organized Play released it all in one article. So all of their quarterly kit stuff's all in one.
I think it was just a post on their Facebook page. They didn't even put it on their website, which is a new way.
Yeah, I saw it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, a new way of them promoting things without...
Somehow I am one of their top fans this week, and I'm trying to figure out when or where I posted something to make that happen. But
your Facebook obviously does not read the transcript of this podcast.
Nope. So yeah, I thought that was interesting, and took a quick glance at some of the Q cards and some of the extra art that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
That possession card is incredibly neat looking. The art on it is.
Yeah, I've always thought when they do upgrades that they're a little lackluster. I do like Ewok Ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Possession's wild. I like the Thrawn is pretty good. Mastermind, yeah. So very cool. I mean, I like these. I've also found because if anybody knows, the retailers actually have to pay for these kits. They're not allowed to just resell them.
Right.
They have to pay for them. I believe the previous quarterly kits were $15 because they include the tokens in them. These come with way more cards and they're only 5. So it's actually...
Oh, okay. But no tokens?
No, yeah, there's no tokens in these season kits. But when you think about it, like that's... if you're a small-time shop, the $10 couldn't be a big enough incentive to get into a like this, especially if you don't have a huge community, or you're trying to build a community.
Yeah,
I like these. These are great.
Yeah, since for those that can't see them at home, do you want to rattle off what's in there?
So it's Possession, it's Mastermind, Ewok Ambush, Jedi Lightsaber, a really long name for a blaster, the DX2. Sorry, I'm zooming in. Disruptor Blaster Pistol, and then Counterintelligence. Nice. So you have a downgrade, an event, an upgrade, 2 upgrade weapons, and then another event. So it's a nice assortment of alt arts there. Interestingly enough, they didn't do a character.
Yeah. Although, have they? I feel like the quarterly kit, or the seasonal kits, were they called quarterly kits before, and that's why I'm doing that?
Yes, they were called quarterly kits before, and every once in a while they would. I thought they would throw a character in, but I could be totally off. They may.
I'm trying to recall. I don't know that I've ever.
Oh wait, I have my binder right here. Let me look.
Handy dandy binder. There's been ships.
Yeah, Jango Fett was done early in 2017.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not lying to you. He's right there.
I don't remember that at all.
Jango Fett.
Well, there he is. Look at him.
I mean, that's 2 years ago, though. So
doesn't feel like 2 years
ago. That's back in the old days. Yeah, they did Finn. You know, that really popular card from Awakenings.
Oh yeah, that guy. Why don't I have that one? I'm sad.
But they didn't. There was a Kylo. There was a Kylo, wasn't there?
Yeah, because Mike Hill's saying that it wasn't in the first seasonal kit, but they were in the old quarterly kits, had characters. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have some downstairs in my binder. They're not.
Sure. We may have some for sale. I don't know what's in I don't know what's in our binder.
It's been a while since I looked at those. I know, maybe I should bring some. I can bring 2 bags. One bag's going to be just filled with stuff.
Right? Well, hopefully it'll be empty when you leave.
I don't know. If I bring board games, they're coming back with me. And I'm genuinely nervous about putting board games that I love in a box, in a zip-up container, and throwing them in the bottom of a plane and hoping they come with me both places.
Right.
So.
Very cool. So yeah, I believe that's all the news that's fit to print right now. I think really, the Destiny world is going to wait until Nova happens, and then maybe we'll start talking about covert missions. Although your Destiny was starting to spew rumors that covert missions may be legal before Worlds.
Oh, I saw that.
I
did see that.
That would be the most frustrating thing for.
But in what country is? I mean, over there, because heck, they waited a lot longer for Spark of Hope, mm-hmm. Right? Or Convert? I forget which one it was that they had. That it took longer. They had quite a wait.
It always seems to take a little longer on some side of the ocean.
It's not that hard. Asmodee is a very large international company. You just got to put it on the boat.
We don't know.
I know.
Kim knows. Anyway, so final call to action. If you are going to Nova and are interested, maybe it's Friday morning or maybe it's Thursday night, us running a nostalgia draft or a vintage box draft with Awakenings.
You can't do it Thursday. I'm not there yet.
Well, if there's enough people interested, it only needs 6 to fire it off.
All right, none of you want to do this on Thursday. You all want to wait until Friday.
We can do it on Thursday and Friday.
Oh, that's fine too.
Although, because on Friday I'll need help because we're streaming what are we doing that night?
I don't know. I'm relying on you to tell me where I need to be and when. And I already figured out what food trucks I want to eat at. So other than that,
fair enough. All right. How about
wait, there's Chance Cube news. We'll get there.
There is?
Well, our Patreon. So listen up, those of you who are interested in becoming a Patreon. Last month they got this amazing looking Ayla card that I didn't bring upstairs to show you, but it's really cool. So just take my word for it. And this month, they're getting an even more epic Ewok Warrior. So you still have time to get it on the Ewok Warrior.
Oh, that's true.
If you go sign up on Patreon. But the clock's a ticking because it's going to hit my mailbox pretty soon.
Clock's a ticking. Ewok Warrior.
And if you're not there yet.
Luna did a great job with that art. I'm really excited to showcase that one when it comes
out. And wait till you guys see the one after that.
We don't even know what it looks like yet, but we're excited about the prospect.
Oh, it sounds so cool. So, yes, that's I know you usually plug it at the end of the show, but I want to give it a little extra oomph. I don't think I have, no, all I have is Seven Sister up here. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Well, if you go to Monk's Facebook page, he just posted a bunch of the alt arts that we've sent him.
There was a Chewbacca that he recently got. I think he has the Ayla. Mm-hmm. So do us a solid, Patreon us. Go check out Monk if you want to see what the card looks like. It's a win-win.
That's right, and that's the
tell him we sent you.
That's the casual tier. I don't think it expressly says it's an alt art, but there's things.
It's our gift from us to you for being so kind.
That's right.
To helping support this crazy little thing that we do every Tuesday night. And at places like the Nova Open and things like that.
Because internet and
until money grows on trees, friends.
It's not cheap.
We want to bring it to you, but it's hard to do. So, yeah, go check that out.
Shall we talk about the days of old?
Yeah, when I was younger and whatnot.
But you know what I always say. Speak softly and drive a big tank.
So something interesting that happens with customizable card games is that we talked a lot about this when Convergence was about to come out, which is rotation, right? So rotation generally makes an older set of cards obsolete in the game, which allows the play to continue to be vibrant and allows for an easier entry for new players, especially when it comes to standard tournaments, because you can not have to worry too much about the larger card pool. I think if you look at the entire card pool, it's over 1,200 at this point. But if you just look at standard, it's somewhere around the 600 mark. So
no wonder I can't remember all the names of the cards anymore.
Right? What were those cards?
I barely get my dog's names right.
Waffles.
Waffles and Maple.
So, but what that actually does create, which is really interesting, is one, you have a card pool that is more or less obsolete for those competitive players because all they're doing is playing in standard tournaments. For Destiny, we do have the Infinite Tournament, so that does that format does allow for any card ever to be valid, to be accessible. In those deck building, but it also, for some reason, even though the game is not even 3 years old yet, but it creates a sense of nostalgia. It creates a sense of, these old cards, how cute, or
back when deck building was simple.
Back when things were simple, and back in the day,
when you had one to
walk
two sets,
15 miles in the snow to the World Championship.
You don't even have snow where you're at.
You're right. We have one cold day a year. And it's usually the day that we're like watching fireworks out of the Magic Kingdom.
That's why I sent Ray pants so she could wear them once.
It's unfortunate. Well, we'll head up to North Carolina at some point. So, no, but there is something, and it's really interesting that there is actually, and really what brought this topic up is Cecil, one of our writers, just did a piece on a Facebook page that Bill Jolly has set up, which is. I forgot what it's called. Oh, the Star Wars Destiny Hall of Fame.
Star Wars Destiny Hall of Fame.
And he actually just posted a picture today that we took at Worlds last year with Jedi Trials, Knights of Ren, and Double Blanks Gaming, which is, if minus Tiny Grimes, that's like the first 5 podcasts that were, or first 4 podcasts that were out. And it's just really interesting to think of. The old era, the previous era, the way the game used to be played, and the way the game is played now, and how many changes have happened. And I mean, even this idea of doing a nostalgia draft. I mean, it's not the first time it's been done, and there are people who are doing it, especially since Awakenings boxes are generally so cheap and easy to get your hands on that it can kind of make for a fun casual play evening. And if you if you haven't ever played Awakenings, it was a much simpler time.
It really was. That's when I felt like I had a grasp on what I was doing. Like, I was like, I got this. I got this game figured out. And then I got that game figured out.
You either played aggro or control. Mill was not possible. All the mid-range died. And supports were too costly, and you couldn't afford them because there was no ramp in the game. So
it was easy.
It was an easy game to play. And I mean, it actually brings me interestingly enough, Destiny came out in official release in December, but there was a preview in like October of that year. And,
I remember our experience with that. It did not go well.
Right. Well, it was sold out like crazy because they underproduced.
We didn't pre-order, yeah, so we couldn't get anything.
And what was really interesting about this particular that particular year is that the worlds actually happened, and it happened with only one set of cards,
which is crazy.
Yeah, so to think about, and that the World Championship deck that year was Darth Vader and Tusken Raider. Like that was the deck, and it played against a Phasma 3-wide. Vader Raider, right? Vader Raider was a thing. It's funny, you pull it up on SW Destiny. It's like, this is a standard deck, and none of these cards are valid anymore. So they're all crossed. And this was actually I think this was one of the first decks that really started to understand resource management. Like, resource management is now it's a requirement. It's a staple. Like, if you don't have the resources to pay for the things you want to do, like, you're dead in the water. It's something you have to consider. Back then, it really wasn't. It was just resources were just a fact of life. You either saved them or you spent them.
Mm-hmm.
And this deck was the first time that someone actually got really good. I don't want to say the first time. That's probably not fair to a bunch of players. But it was an early demonstration on all his events. I think were free except for one.
Yeah.
And that is the way that he chose free events over maybe an event that was more effective but costly.
Yep.
In which you couldn't play those, right? You couldn't play those because you're trying to get an upgrade out. I mean, this is truly aggro in the sense of aggro. Like, try to get upgrades down and play them as quickly as possible. It is such
what a time that was too, though. And I remember the gasps at that Worlds event.
Right.
You were there, I was not, but I just remember the gasps heard around the world whenever that last card came out. That I'm trying to think what it was, but I remember that those finals were a bit intense because he had exactly what he needed when he needed it.
You had already joined us at that point, haven't you? Like, I
had.
You were running our Facebook page
I was
that
home.
weekend.
Yep, I was home running Facebook while you. Yeah.
You've been here for some reason I thought you joined much later. Well,
it was the card. I can't remember what it's called, but it let him draw all 5 more cards.
Oh, Boundless Ambition.
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
That was Worlds, right?
Yeah, Boundless Ambition. That was the card to end all cards. Of course, the stream is showing the video backwards. I apologize to everybody. But yeah, Boundless, man, because card draw wasn't a thing except for Boundless Ambition, and he was able to use that one resource to build up his hand, which allowed him to maintain control of the game, because every time he redrew his hand, he got some sort of control card that really just made it impossible for his opponent to do damage. Throwing in the yellow, so he had backup muscle. Was good. Electroshock.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember
that. Was the removal card back in the day. When you think about it, like, Electroshock is a little less effective now because there are cheaper cards out there, and Electroshock and Dice are generally more powerful. Well, yeah. Electroshock got reprinted, which is kind of interesting. Hunker Down. Do you remember Hunker Down? Exhaust. Yeah, it gave you a shield of return unless you got melee damage taken. Hunker Down.
And then we had Fiber Knife, so it didn't matter anymore.
Oh man, yeah. When Fiber Knife came out, like, that was the end of the world, right? So I find the world like just the whole idea of the World Championship one set very interesting, and that it was aggro. It was aggro won the day. I can't remember what. Various iterations of Poe Ray was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Before Poe Maz became a thing, Poe Ray was a thing.
Make me cringe a little hearing that.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. But when you think about Awakenings, or even the first couple Awakenings in Spirit, like, what kind of cards bring this, like, nostalgia to you? I mean, obviously Vibra Knife, I think, is one of those.
Oh man, I loved Vibra Knife. I loved Vibra Knife. That card was so much fun to have in a deck, and Second Chance was a table flipper for a while. I remember my very first tournament, I was playing Han Leia, and I think I was playing against Nick Wilson, who later went on to be a much better Destiny player than I am, and won the first championships at Nova Open. And I put Second Chance down on Han because he totally thought he had me, and the look on his face when I played that card, that I was like, I did something right, like, because we're talking super early set, man, because my opponent was frustrated, and so that was really fun and dandy until I experienced that on the other side of the table, and my opponent played Second Chance, and I could not for the life of me kill that whoever it was. I don't remember what the deck was at that point, but I remember Second Chance was like playing that card. I was like, I figured some stuff out.
It's funny because Second Chance remained a viable card until rotation, right? Second Chance was there, even last Worlds. When they went all the way through Legacies, like Second Chance was the bread and butter, especially for
sure, it hung on for a long time.
Sabine Ezra, the villain. I mean, even the hero vehicle deck that I really enjoyed around the Legacies era. Like Second Chance was the way to keep those decks alive.
Oh, absolutely. And you don't have now. I just feel like the game has adjusted enough that you don't necessarily need it. But back in the time when aggro was so dominant, you needed Second Chance to have an opportunity to get another turn, to get another round to try to stay in there.
Vibra Knife and Force Speed. Oh, Force Speed.
Oh, how did I forget about Sith Holocron? I like Sith Holocron commentator, so I think about him often, but I forgot about the card and how frustrating that was. That I don't play villain, so I didn't have a card like that. And so all you dang villain players on the other side of the table were like, I'm just going to put this upgrade down, and it's not going to cost me anything.
Right. It's just
because I still can't. I couldn't generate resources then, and I still can't do it now. So,
I mean, to some extent, Jeremy has made it a little harder to get resources these days. Like, I'd be more clever about it ever since they fixed Snoke. But back then, if you were able to figure out a solution to get resources, you were ahead of the curve. And now people know how to either build for a lower resource curve or create a larger resource curve that allows you to play cards like Vader's Fist and the heavy support game that we're seeing now that was not even possible. Yep. I mean, it wasn't possible. Legacies was the first time they tried that it was sort of possible because of the support with Rally Aid and Tech Team to get vehicles out for practically nothing.
It was hard early on. Like you just didn't build a deck with it. It was just too hard to get them out.
And now you're silly if you don't play a support based deck. It seems like
you at least don't have one or two. I mean, you'd have It Binds All Things. Like you'd certainly have that as but like a vehicle support wasn't really a thing that you could.
Supports were
backup missile. That was another
supports that were popular were not dice cards.
Right.
It Binds All Things.
It Binds All Things.
Backup muscle.
Awakenings. Oh wait, I'm the only one that played that.
Was Awakenings a support? Oh yeah, it stayed on the table. You could use it once per turn.
Which is why it's a great card. I don't know what's wrong with all you people.
A lot of people are avoiding modified die, I think, at this point in time.
Early on it was, but then you could just roll them out and we just use that, and you could resolve it as if it wasn't modified. It was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
It fit my playstyle quite well because I don't roll super well, so I would always hit the modified sides, and somebody would remove your regular side, and so then you're like, well, great, now I can't do anything with it, but you could with Awakening. I'll never stop talking. In case you guys are wondering, I'm never going to stop talking.
Never. It was an interesting time. Like that set, every set after it actually ended up having its problems. Awakenings was interesting in that by itself it didn't seem to have any abusive problems. It wasn't until Spirit that the whole 9 situation happened. You had the whole Sabine situation. You had the whole like on and on every set.
Hyperspace jump.
Oh, right.
Maz.
You're right. I lied. The Hyperloop situation.
Whew, that was bad. Hyperloop is in the card. Please don't anybody go say we're talking bad about the Hyperloop. The Hyperloop, the card situation.
Right, yeah, hyperspace jump that looped around
Hyperspace
with the
jump.
Falcon and you can never play.
I remember our local player Ken, whom I'm sure that you remember. It was like 4 times in a game that he did. I was ready to throw the table. It just showed, that's how broken that it was. But it was enough that it severely impacted enjoyment of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, all right, well, if that's all you're going to do, I'm done. I'm just going to put my hand down and I'm going to walk away and I'll force the rest of the game because I'm playing. Like, it was that kind of rage-inducing.
I'm not playing like this. Yeah, no, I like where the game has come. I think there's some great momentum in the way that the design is taking the game and actually making more and more playstyles viable. We've seen the support. The support deck has risen to be one of the top dogs out there now. Ewoks was a different beast altogether because now we have a diceless deck that is very consistent and being able to take out players. But back in the day, man, when it was a 2-character list was most likely the best version, right? 2 elite characters was what a lot of people were aiming for.
You'd have upgrades. 20 die. I had a deck that had close to 20 die in it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fit in the deck box. And you felt like, all right, I really did it. I got as many die as possible in here because that's where it felt like you needed to have. That's the only way that you were going to win.
Right. The aggressive play. Control wasn't strong enough. Like, nothing else was strong enough to win. Like, you had to have something that brought more damage than your opponent and were able to get it out on the table earlier.
Yep.
Because the removal packages were just not as strong up until probably about set 3, I think.
But when you put that many die in your deck, you don't have enough cards in there to generate any resources to then get sent upgrades out on. It was a challenge. Deck building was so much different then. And I agree with what Mike said. The game's a lot more thematic now.
Right. You can actually build a competitive thematic deck, and the card effects because they can be more complicated end up being more thematic because they are trying to build those that synergy in there.
Yeah.
And I just hope that I hope that these older sets can maintain relevance to some degree.
Sure.
I wouldn't say Destiny doesn't necessarily have staple cards like a lot of games do. A lot of games will reprint dozens of cards when a new set is released, like whatever those staple cards are. We've reprinted maybe a dozen, if that.
There was a decent amount in this last one. I feel like we looked up how many it was because I was pulling them out of the old binder,
but there were enough. But those cards, I wouldn't necessarily consider them staples at the current time. They're not cards that people are throwing into their deck. And I think even those staple cards are maybe stable for a certain color.
Yeah.
Intimidate is Intimidate? Nope. Isolation is still a good villain blue removal.
Electric Shock is back.
Electric Shock is back, but not as commonly played as it used to be.
That was in every yellow deck before. Every yellow deck ran electric.
I miss. He doesn't like you. Like that was. That was a great removal.
Bait and switch. Didn't it lost cat and mouse? I played that a decent amount. Because red yellow's always been my jam.
Right.
Yeah, because red yellow's been primarily what I enjoy playing throughout the game. I've tried blue and I don't know. It just never worked super well for me. I don't know why.
Fair.
Red yellow.
Someday we'll do a deep dive on the colors. I think each of the colors has an identity that I'm not sure how well we've actually explored in terms of you look at Magic, and each of the colors in Magic has a very specific archetype that is associated with it. I think Destiny does too. I just don't know if we've really taken the time to really explore that. I also think that that has morphed and evolved over the seasons too. There was a time where range was never a thing for blue, and then Palpatine came along, and you can so now mixed damage is everywhere.
I still don't like it.
It's fair. I played a deck with mixed damage the other day. I was like,
I don't.
remember how much I
feel
hated
like
mixed
I can't
damage.
get it running. Yeah, I feel like I can't get that engine running with it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
I occasionally miss the old days, but I like where the game has come for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It has come into its own, absolutely. But it was those simple times. That's really the best way I know how to explain it. Before there were all these holocron updates and point adjustments and all that jazz, and you only had a very limited card pool to experiment with. That's when all that infancy of Destiny was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. So I think that's a good time to move on to our question of the week. But don't forget to go back to the past and look every now and then to see where we've come from. I would check out Bill Jolly's Facebook page. Give him a like, and check out Star Wars Destiny Hall of Fame.
He's totally thrown back some of those. Some articles in there. I was looking at the page today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some old videos, articles from all the different content creators and FFG. So you can kind of check out, see where Destiny has, especially if you're a newer player and missed that era of the game. It's kind of neat to see where the game has come from and where it's going. And then if you're interested in Awakening's box draft at Nova and you're heading up there, shoot us a message on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And if we get enough responses, then we'll put out something official for signups and such things.
Cool.
Or maybe we'll just signups on the spot. Who knows? I'll bring a couple boxes. I'll bring a couple boxes just to have in case anybody wants to do it. But prefer to hear from you first, because that'll make me feel like someone's listening.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our question of the week.
There can be no mistakes this time.
So, we have this question of the week, Jason. I feel like we need a dad joke.
Why do we need a dad joke?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like now that you're a dad, it would be a quick little fun addition right at the end of the show. Jason, throw out his dad joke of the week. If you guys want a dad joke of the week, let us know. I'll make it happen.
Oh, okay. Now the pressure's on.
Uh-huh. So, anyway, back to the question of the week, because that's what we have for now. I'm not saying in lieu of, in addition to. Anyway, we wanted to know what your favorite play style in Star Wars Destiny was. What would you say yours is, Jason? I've been an aggro. I'm not that good at it, but I've been aggro shifting into control.
I tend to play decks that have a simpler throughput in terms of play style, so I tend to play a little more mid range. I like playing control. If I found or built a good control deck, like I know it's kind of I start feeling bad, like if I continue to remove every dice on the table, but I do
There's
like
a good feeling behind that. Yeah,
I do like not taking damage and still giving out damage.
Yes, I want to get all my damage out there faster.
Yeah, so that's my play style. My favorite would be control. I'm not a huge fan of the support game. I don't know why. I know it is strong and powerful, and I understand like the support game. There is something to be said about losing all but one of your character, but not losing any of the power of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's really what support
That's
decks
true.
win, is because most support decks have characters that either don't do damage or don't do a lot of damage, and it's the supports that do all the damage. And
yeah, because you're playing the long game with the supports, right? Because it takes so much longer to activate them.
Mm-hmm.
That you really are you've got a longer term game plan than probably maybe I do as an aggro player, because you're looking for those supports at specific time frames.
And they tend to have more health on the table.
Yeah.
So it takes longer for the aggro and the mid range to get through that health, and that is the time they can to ramp up their supports.
Yep.
So.
Well, we've got a couple of different people on here. Antoine and Tim both like support decks. Tim mentioned that particularly vehicle supports. But, Tim Sutterth, what am I going to do with you? But I've had a lot more fun playing Mill, Tim. We're going to have to talk next time I see you, buddy.
Now, I like what he says, though, about it's a strategy that's died out a little bit in terms of not necessarily a mill game, but using cards to pull cards out of your opponent's hand that are going to destroy you. Right? Probe was always a great card, which I think is still a thing.
I think it is. Yeah, I think that was reprinted. I'm pretty sure it was.
That one, and Thrawn did it a lot, being able to pull those right cards out of your opponent's hand. Friends in low places or high places, one of the friends cards, just those cards that controlled your opponent based on preventing the options they had in their hand, not necessarily removing their die.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I've played a mill deck, and I agree that because Tim goes on to kind of mention how it's kind of interesting to cripple your opponent and their mitigation, and he looks at it as kind of dodging damage and grabbing the weapons out of their hands, which I totally get that. And I did play a Rose deck that was a vehicle, but had a lot of mill to it. And it is, I get it. I get the fun of exactly how he explains that, as if you're going and yanking weapons out of their hands before they can play them. Mm-hmm. I hate playing against mill.
Right.
I don't like having my weapons yanked from my hands. I'll take them from you.
Right.
But I don't want you to take them from me.
For sure.
What else? So, Raymond's Solidarity versus Solidarity makes games exciting as Singleton. I haven't done any of those yet.
Solidarity. I did one Solidarity deck just for the point value situation. It was interesting. You have to know that you're not really looking for anything particular in your hands. You just have to make every card count that you put in your deck, and make sure you don't need every card in your deck.
Yeah.
In terms of you're not searching for that one because you only have one copy of it. Solidarity itself, I don't think is necessarily a play style, but I like the idea of Solidarity versus Solidarity does make the game a little more varied and exciting because you know that each card in their deck is different. And it's not 15 cards doubled up. It's actually 30 individual cards. So it does provide a little bit more mystery to it.
I feel like that happens a lot with Draft. You have one copy of that card.
Mm-hmm. Simon Willis likes doing a ramp deck.
Speaking of Holocron, said ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you'd explain. I wish you'd given me more. I'm curious what decks he plays to do that. And then Jim got right aligned with me. My buddy Jim said aggro, and he said more specifically punch you in the face Vader, which is pretty fun.
That's right. Well, that's it.
So ends another week.
Another week of Star Wars Destiny commentary by the Chance Cube. You made it to the end, and if you didn't make it to the end, you wouldn't know that I said you made it to the end. So that's a weird metaphysical conversation there. If you're watching via Twitch, please follow, subscribe, Amazon Prime. It is free to subscribe, and you get our cool emote to hang out in the chat with us. Mike Hill, thank you so much for dominating the comments, the stream chat today. I think one of the only.
He goes back to school soon.
I know, if not already. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification icon. We will be posting all the Nationals videos to YouTube as soon as the stream is done. Give us a week, and then they'll all be up there. If you're listening via podcast, please review via your favorite podcast app. We do appreciate it. 5 stars, 4 stars. Before you give us a 1-star review, please send us a note and tell us why you're giving us 1 star, and then
so we can try to fix it.
We can try, or. Thank you so much to Matthew Scott for keeping us honest and managing our Facebook page throughout the days and weeks to come. Thank you to all our patrons. Check out patreon.com/thechancecube. $1 gets you into our Chance Cube Hangout Facebook page where you can see what's coming out with the Chance Cube, talk to all our fans. $5 gets you something fun sent to you from Kim Breeze. Usually,
you don't know what I'm gonna say.
You don't know what it's going to be, but it's probably going to be a 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardboard with some artwork on it. That's very lovely.
You guys never know. It could just be pictures of my dogs.
It won't be. And then at the $15 level, we send you accessories. And I've got access to a 3D printer now. So
are they propane accessories? Sorry, half the people aren't going to get that joke because you're all too stinking young. Are they propane accessories? King of the Hill.
And check out the App Store on iPhone for the Chance Cube's Price Watch. I know it's not the cheapest app on the store. It is the price of a pack of cards, and all that money goes to help support the this program. So don't think about buying the app. Think about donating money to the Chance Cube, and you get a fun app with it.
Yeah.
And we update the prices every day.
You get a handy dandy thing. It'll tell you the prices. It's right in your pocket. You don't have to go to another website, so it loads a little bit quicker.
Right.
And you're helping us out. Bring you cool things like streams from the Nova Open.
That's right. Every penny helps. And someday
it really does.
Yeah. Head over to our Facebook page. Pinned to the top is the question of the week for next week. What card? Wow, I hope Matthew Scott rephrases this before he posts it.
He trusts you, Chief. He may have just gone with it.
What card event? Wow. What event card? What event which has not been reprinted would you like to see reprinted in the future? So what event would you what event from the past, from the first block, would you like to see reprinted in a future set?
Awakenings.
Well, that's a support, but you can say it anyways if you'd like.
Oh yeah, instead of poo. That's what I'm always gonna say.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
9 a.m. No.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're listening via podcast, come hang out with us on Twitch.
Yeah, it's a jolly good time.
We'll actually talk back to you if you talk to us.
You never know when I'll activate Chewbacca back there.
Oh, Impulse 4-1 just showed up. Look at that.
Well, looky there. Boy, we'll let anybody watch this stream.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.
This has been The Chance Cube, a Star Wars Destiny podcast, a non-profit organization dedicated to building community through gaming. Visit our website for all things Star Wars Destiny, including our Price Watch, Meta Tracker, and latest articles from the Chance Cube family. Find our latest videos on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit us at patreon.com/thechancecube. Your patronage allows us to grow this program and help us give back to the gaming community by sponsoring events, giveaways, and supporting our own community building initiatives. This is Mike Hill, the voice of the Chance Cube. Thanks for listening. The Chance Cube is not affiliated with Fantasy Flight Games, Lucasfilms, or the Walt Disney Company.